Welcome back, dear viewers, and you are still watching Cairo Local Time, and now we are joined over the phone by Dr. Hassn Waguih. He is Professor of International Relations at Al-Azhar University. Good afternoon, Dr. Hassn.
Good afternoon to you.
Sir, we were tackling the 31st Arab Summit in Algeria, which wrapped up its activities yesterday with the attendance of President Abdel Fattah Sisi. So, sir, how do you see the importance of the summit and its timing and its recommendations?
Yes, I think the timing is extremely critical and important that the Arab system countries should get together and to see how they can handle many challenges and many crises and a big international crisis, in fact. So I think the timing is very important. Referring back to these crises, we shall say that it needs badly the gathering of Arab delegates, especially that the crises around us are in a state of being exacerbated, and it needs to be managed, not to be watched out and playing the ostrich scenario, of course.
Yes. Dr. Hassn, also, if we talk about cooperation between Arab countries to boost economic performance in Egypt and in different Arab countries, how do you see potential of cooperation between Arab countries to boost economies?
You know, in the international relations literature these days, and because of what happened regarding the international crisis that the whole entire world is suffering from, the word globalism is being changed a little bit and substituted by the word regionalism. What I mean by this is that when you are talking about supplies that are coming from far away, from Ukraine, from Russia, from wherever, I think this is being threatened because of the war there. So the only solution out for every regional area in the world to get closer to each other, and of course, when it comes to the Arab countries, they are close to each other, but the integration should go on, and you have to handle the crisis by relying on yourself much more than the situation before.
Yes.
Because it's a matter of survival, and as a matter of managing an extended crisis that we don't know when it will end.
Yes. So, sir, how can Arab-African cooperation help both regions overcome current challenges?
Yes, of course. When you are talking about the Arab world, it's like a big entity. Its body is in Africa too, and its two wings, one in the east where we have the Gulf countries, and we have in the west the Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Libya. So it's like a huge bird. The body is inside Africa, and Africa is also a hope in the future, because in Sudan only, Sudan is having a very good fertile land that could nourish the entire world, and cooperation is extremely needed, and stability is much more needed, because stability brings the economy back to the good basis where it can grow. But without stability, this is why the Arab Summit is very important, to handle all the problems in all Arab countries that are suffering from sedition, disintegration, and I hope that they have done a good job, because this could reach to an unmanageable crisis, God forbid, and I hope that this crisis will come to an end in the Arab system, so as we can get together and see the future and work for the future, and we have a great potential in the Arab world.
Also, the Palestinian cause topped the agenda of the summit, and the President President Fattah Sisi called for supporting the joint Arab action towards the Palestinian cause to reach a settlement that preserves the Palestinian rights. How do you see President Fattah Sisi's address and his support to the Palestinian cause?
Actually, the president confirmed what he said before in this Arab summit, and confirmed the Egyptian stance through the years and decades for supporting the first Arab cause, which is the Palestinian cause. And his call and the Arab leaders' call for getting the two factions in Palestine unite is extremely important. And he reiterated the idea that the solution is based on peace for land. It is not peace for peace, as the other party wants. And also, the timing is critical and very important. Why? Because now the right-wingers in Israel won the election, and they have a project for transferring Palestinians from the West Bank to Jordan. And this would create a great crisis if they try to do that. So I hope that the entire Arab world would have an anticipatory steps and show a sign of cooperation to ward off any aggression like that.
Yes. Sir, also if we talk about the steps needed to establish an Arab-African common market, to what extent this will help in achieving economic stability in different Arab and African countries?
Yes, as I've told you, the Arab countries have the resources, and Africa has the potentiality, and I think that we have to go for good and deep cooperation and integration with African countries, because Africa has a lot of potential. And you can see that there are some foreign powers outside the area are getting into Africa because they know the potentialities of Africa. So we have to work on the African level, and we have to settle any disputes like, the Renaissance Dam and stuff like that. This should be closed issues and should end up by integration, cooperation, and win-win approaches, which Egypt is adopted.
Yes. Sir, one final question. The President also tackled the Libyan crisis, where he stressed the need to reach a political solution based on establishing state institutions and eliminating foreign intervention in Arab countries that have conflicts. So what's your take on this?
Yeah, I think that the Libyan situation is very complicated also, and it needs to be addressed in a very meticulous way. And Egypt, the President expressed Egyptian stance regarding having a solution for the sake of the entire Libyan brothers and sisters living there. We don't want to see seditions, we don't want to see disputes, we don't want to see fights. We need stability for our brothers and sisters there. And also, the President has already mentioned some good statement regarding managing that conflict long time ago, and this statement is still at work, and I hope that we will find a solution for the Libyan and for the other Arab countries' crisis.
I'd like to thank you, Dr. Hassn Waguih, Professor of Political Science, International Relations at Al-Azhar University. Thank you for being with us. A short break. We'll be back with some local news, so stay tuned.